When a new generation of a fan-favorite gadget starts taking shape, the early specs always spark that familiar mix of excitement and curiosity. Those first numbers instantly push us into comparison mode, checking what's improving, what's holding steady, and what might be taking a slight step back. Over the past few weeks, a steady stream of One UI 8.5 discoveries has been revealing bits and pieces about Samsung's next earbuds, the Galaxy Buds 4 and the Buds 4 Pro. And today, we can add something every wireless audio user cares about: battery capacity. Battery life is the backbone of any good pair of earbuds, and while some of that comes down to hardware efficiency, the battery capacity is often the simplest way to understand what kind of endurance we can expect. Looking at Samsung's current lineup, this is where things stand right now. There was a noticeable dip in capacity when Samsung moved from the Buds 2 series to the Buds 3 series, yet real-world tests showed that endurance stayed surprisingly steady, with the baseline model still hovering around the 5-hour mark per charge. That's thanks to the company's power-efficient chips, refined ANC, and their constant software tuning obsession. Now, thanks to more code strings uncovered in One UI 8.5, we're getting the first solid look at what's powering the upcoming generation. The standard Buds 4 dropped to 42 mAh, while the Buds 4 Pro jumped to 57 mAh, which means one goes down and one goes up, but the dip isn't nearly as dramatic this time. Instead of the roughly 21% drop we saw last generation, we're looking at something closer to 12.5%. That's small enough that once again efficiency and tuning will decide the real story, and there's a good chance the Buds 4 will still land in familiar battery life territory. As for the Buds 4 Pro, their increase should keep them comfortably competitive. Of course, the earbuds themselves are only half the equation. Battery life depends just as much on the charging case, and while we haven't seen fresh clues in the latest leak, an earlier report from Galaxy Club suggested Samsung is planning only a modest bump, around a 3% increase. But while the battery department isn't getting any radical change, the same cannot be said about the overall design. Samsung is sticking with the stem design it introduced on the Buds 3 lineup, but instead of the sharp, triangular prism-style stem from last year, the Buds 4 series shifts to a flatter, slimmer silhouette. The dramatic blade lights are gone as well, giving the entire design a cleaner, more understated look. The case itself is also getting a complete design shift. It now opens while lying flat on a surface similar to the Buds 2 Pro, but with a transparent top. There's a dedicated phone locator button at the bottom next to the USB-C port, as well as a built-in speaker to help you locate the case. With that said, the Galaxy Buds 4 series will launch alongside the S26 series in January, and if you'd like to stay up to date as development progresses, then consider subscribing to the channel. Also, don't forget to turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.